My name is Bianca Goolsby, and I'm an educational activist, and I founded Teaching for the Culture. Teaching for the Culture is out in the community advocating for parents, providing them the right resources and tools to help their children succeed in the public education system. We go out to the schools, we visit out to assess problems, and we also forward complaints over to district administrators to ensure that they're handling the process with accountability, transparency, and integrity. Can I put on my wig for this one? I created Morning Teen Allegations originally because there was a lot of controversy that was taking place in regards to the superintendent search. And if you don't know, Hillsborough County Public Schools was soliciting a new leader for the seventh largest district in the United States. And so there was a lot of controversy that surrounded that superintendent search. And because I had information and I was privy to information that took place, I was actively involved with that process. So I spoke about issues that were taking place. I attended school board meetings and I reviewed contracts that was happening behind the scenes to educate the community on what was taking place. And basically, that show was to provide transparency on what was happening behind the scenes. And so I had access to information. There was contracts that were pulled, and it was basically there in place to assist the community as far as letting them know what was taking place with the superintendent search. Well, after that, it became a big hit because a lot of people was understanding there was some backhanded components that takes place in our public education system. A lot of people don't really understand that, our district is the size of Rhode Island. It is a very large district. And so there's a lot of things that are going to happen, granted, right? So we need to be able to work together with the district to bridge that communication gap. And that gap is very evident. So Teaching for the Culture came in to basically be like a media reporter, just kind of report similar to what other reporters are doing where they report to the community. Teaching for the Culture came in to say, hey, there's a lot of stuff that's being talked about, but we've missed this. So for example, when the superintendent search came out, we were talking about the prison to pipeline. And I was like, great, I'm glad that we're talking about it, but we did not identify that we lead the state in our own prison to pipeline. So this is where advocacy comes out to say, hey, I understand that this particular district has a prison to pipeline and this particular district has a prison to pipeline, but we have one right here and we lead the state. So if we can go ahead and get everyone that's talking about this prison to pipeline and talk about our prison to pipeline so that we can best impact our children and move forward. It was a big hit. Everyone loved the show, and that was because I brought that uniqueness to advocacy. So the thing about the wigs. So me and my wife, we have a very entertaining relationship, so much so that we actually wanted to create a reality show. But because of the way that our lives were shifting and we became kind of public figures in a sense, it would not be in our best interest to do that. So that way people can nitpick our lives in the capacities outside of, what we show to the world. So therefore, we kind of took a step back from that. But I did enjoy having wigs. I did enjoy playing with my wife's makeup, and it was something that's entertaining for me. And so I realized that, when I would go on live and I didn't have my wig, I didn't have makeup on, I would get maybe, 5 to 10 views. But then, oh, when you put the wig on, and I had all these different outfits to coordinate, what the show theme is. And I had music playing that coordinated with the show and had, disclaimers and all this stuff rolling. Like, people thought that this was a fully produced show. Meanwhile, I'm doing it right from my home office. And so for me, I really enjoyed it because it's like, hey, I'm giving y'all information that I really think that the public should know. We have to do better for our children. And so if I have to get, on a wig and, acting full on the internet to get people's attention, then that's what I'm just going to have to do, because that's what I've been doing and it's been working. So much so that I've had local politicians and state politicians watch Morning Teen Allegation, watch what I have to say, watching what I'm posting on the internet. And we're now having more conversations centered around education and being there for our children. There is some deep rooted things that's taking place on the internet that a lot of parents are not seeing. And unfortunately, those type of behaviors are trickling into the classroom. So much so that you're seeing all of these headlines that are coming out saying that teachers are leaving because of children's behavior. And that's partially true. The behavior has gotten so out of hand. And so we're making policies to keep children in school for funding, but not addressing the root issues as to why and what is taking place. So my whole intent is to bridge awareness of, hey, parents, there's a lot of stuff that your children are watching on social media that's desensitizing them to the behavior, that is altering their brain. And so therefore we need to will it back. Okay. We need to have family time. We need to be more intentional with our children, because the things that they're seeing on social media, well, now I can completely understand why classrooms are in chaos. So everybody knows this robe. I mean, this right here. This is the OG. This is the original, right? Now I have different outfit choices that I wear, but this is the OG. So this wig right here, this is the signature wig. Okay, it's a little dusty right now. I need to go ahead and moisturize my wig because I got another episode coming up. But the wig is on point. Okay, love the wig. And it just adds an extra touch. It adds humor to the situation, although none of it is funny. None of what I talk about is something humorous. However, if I actually sat on the internet and lectured you on what was taking place, I don't really think that I would catch people's attention. The mindset, what people watch nowadays, it has changed. The way that internet has changed and evolved is crazy, right? You have to be involved and you have to be intentional with noticing these patterns. I've been on Facebook for almost 12 years. Almost 12 years, and I've seen where we have made little posts and we've logged out and we've lived our life to now our life has become it. Our life has become social media. There was a whole thing where they said, if no one tagged you, that you didn't have a real relationship. And now we're seeing all of these articles about how you don't have to, broadcast your significant other. Like, social media is dangerous, folks. That's why you got to be intentional with it. And so that's why I created Morning Tea Allegations. This is why I had my wig and my teacup talking about things, because I wanted to add a comedic touch to a very serious problem that's happening in our county, in our district, in our country, and that is the state of public education. My plans for Teaching for the Culture is so amazing, and I'm so thankful. And so I'm going to be actually hosting, social media workshops so we can actually talk to parents, talk to children about having and making good decisions online and what that looks like. We're having, coding camps, teaching children how to code, the things that I was passionate about going into the school system, but actually making something bigger and broader than me just being in the four walls of the classroom. And so it's all about impacting children. It's about showing them different things and a different way of life. A child doesn't know what they don't know. A child sees what they see. And when they see, their rap stars, the people who, are role models to them, singing about and rapping about committing felonies and, shooting each other because they're on the wrong block. Well, I guess this is why our children fight, because different neighborhoods are different blocks and they are, advocating on who's on what block. This is what's taking place, folks. So I hope that everyone's paying attention. So Teaching for the Culture has a podcast, and we have a new series, and it's called The Whole Child. The Whole Child is with my guest host, Kimberlyn Jackson, where we're actually talking about getting to the root issues, the trauma that's taking place, so that we can break these generational curses and the things that's impacting our children. Because this is real, folks. This is real movement work that we need to rebuild our communities and have this unity. We can't have unity with all the division, but we also cannot have unity when you have complicit gatekeepers in a way. Teaching for the Culture is here to advocate and bring truth to real situations out here and to be a better support for our students and our teachers every day. Teachers come and they bring their issues and their concerns to us, and we go out to the district to see how that we can resolve it and what Teaching for the Culture can do to assist. And so just like when we have situations that come up on Morning Tea and Allegations, and when people email receipts at teachingfortheculture.com, we are actively involved with the district, and I appreciate the district working with Teaching for the Culture to make sure that we are fixing the issues for our teachers and our students, because that is what it's all about. We have issues with gentrification. We have issues with human trafficking. We have issues with sex trafficking. We have issues with affordable housing. We have issues where we continue to see that people are putting profits over the people. And we have to stop that. We have to fight that. And we have to pull together to make sure that we're protecting our youth. There was just an incident that took place in the news where a 15-year-old girl was stomped to the ground by so many young men. And there was even children, 18 years old, stomping on the 15-year-old girl. And even after it broke out, someone took her shoes and left her there. And she was rushed to the hospital after laying on the pavement. This is what's taking place. This is all recorded and posted on social media. And I need you parents to be activated in your children's lives and also be activated on these cell phones and combat the issues that's happening online. Thank you so much for tuning in to Teaching for the Culture. And thank you so much for learning a little bit more about me. And until next time, peace.